Morning everybody, my name is Peter C. and we're here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. And today we're going to take a look at a 2026 Winnebago EKKO 23B. So the 23B is built on a Mercedes Sprinter 3500 chassis. This is an all-wheel drive Mercedes. We have these nice BF Goodrich KO3 all-terrain tires on here as well. The Mercedes Sprinter 3500 has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel, makes 208 horsepower and 332 foot-pounds of torque. You have a 9-speed automatic transmission and a 5,000-pound towing capacity. So we'll take a look at some of the exterior features first before we head on inside. You can see this one was optioned with the full body paint. So the entire box has matching selenite paint to match the cab, which is kind of just a nice aesthetic appeal. In this first compartment, we're gonna have our lithium batteries. So this is a single 320 amp hour Lithionics lithium battery. You can add an additional one if you want to, which would give you 640 amp hours, but this one was optioned with only a single lithium battery. And our next two compartments down here, this is going to be our gray tank pump. So when your water comes down from your shower, this pump will sense when there's water in the line. It'll pump it back into your gray tanks. Over here is going to be our generator. So this is a 2800 watt propane generator. So this will pull off of your propane tanks, which we'll show you on the other side. Up above here is going to be your cassette toilet. So the EKKO does not utilize a traditional black tank that you have to, pump out or drain. It uses what's called a cassette toilet. So this little thing, you just remove it like that, swivel this over, unscrew it, and dump it. So nice option for just flexibility. You can empty that anywhere that there's a toilet, pit toilets, national parks, that kind of thing. It just provides a little bit more flexibility than a traditional black tank. Back here, we'll have our solar expansion port if you want to add more solar. This EKKO does come standard with 530 watts of solar on the roof, but you can always add more if you wanted to. Down here is our 30 amp shore power cord. Now this is what's called a smart meter. So these GLN will light up green, basically just to indicate your power source is healthy. If there's anything wrong with your power source, there's something wrong with the ground that could potentially damage the electrical system, this will turn red telling you to unplug it. Our next bay back here is going to be our wet bay. So we have a water pump switch out here. We have a little LED light if you need to access this at night. You have our gravity fill at the top, and we do have hot and cold water back here as well. So if you travel with pets or anything, it's kind of nice to have somewhere on the exterior of the vehicle to, wash them off. They even give you a little towel hook right here, which is kind of a nice addition. Now, this rear compartment is one of the coolest things about an EKKO. This is going to be our gear garage. So in total, between the gear garage and the other storage compartments, the EKKO has about 65 cubic feet of exterior storage. All of these compartments are very well insulated and they have heat vents to them as well, so nothing back here will freeze. You can see on the door here, we have this nice MOLLE panel. So this is made to kind of clip carabiners to, put any miscellaneous gear on so it's not just kind of whacking around in the back of your garage. There's a total of 3 doors to access your garage. This one is on gas struts, which is kind of nice if you're trying to stay out of the rain while you're getting in your garage. You have somewhere to stand so you're not going to get wet. Finally, our other side. So same MOLLE panel you saw on the other side. Now back in the garage, you're gonna have 2 of these little push button lights, as well as the 110 on either side. So this garage was made for the intention that you could fit 2 bikes in here side by side if you wanted to. And they put the 110 back here in case you travel with e-bikes. So if you do travel with e-bikes, you can store them in your garage. You can plug them in and charge them back here. And these compartment doors do lock. So all of these storage compartments you're going to see have locks on them. So you can lock these compartments so no one can get in here, except for the next compartment we're going to go to, which is our propane. So propane does not lock, just for safety reasons. Now the way that EKKO does propane is pretty cool. Usually you're going to have a propane tank that you have to take to a you know, campground or truck stop or something, have them put a hose in to fill it up. These tanks are interchangeable. So same exact kind of tanks you'd have for your backyard grill, you can swap them out anywhere. You can even bring additional tanks and leave them in your garage. And again, with the 23B EKKO, since your generator runs off of propane, you can bring additional propane tanks with you, and it's just going to extend the amount of time you can stay off grid with this. And then down below, you do have a little quick connect that'll hook into those propane tanks. So if you want to bring any kind of grill, you know, maybe like a little flat top cook station or something with you, you can hook it up there and it'll pull off those propane tanks. Up above is going to be our Truma AquaGo. So this is for your continuous hot water. This also runs off of propane. Heading back to our final 2 storage compartments. And we have one more on the other side. Before we finish with these storage compartments, a cool thing to point out is just notice how thick these doors are, how well insulated they are. You also have these pretty cool latches in here that are compression latches. So you can see when I turn this, it's actually going to suck it shut. So it'll pull it tight into this rubber gasket seal and just really make this whole compartment airtight as well as watertight. All right, so we'll go ahead and head on inside, but first off, we'll take a look at the awning we have here. So this is a Carefree awning. On an automatic switch, you have a LED light strip on the outside of the awning as well. So nice for just some campsite shade. Our step is automatic. And on our screen door, what's nice about this is not screen, it's actually kind of like a chain link material. So if you travel with pets or anything, you don't have to worry about them being able to scratch through this. It's very durable. Now we'll head on inside and we'll go over the controls here real quick. So all the way on the left, we have our Carefree awning controls. You can see it just says retract or extend. Press it once and it's going to pull it in or push it out. You have your step override switch. So if you don't want your step to go out when you open the door, you can switch that off. Our coach battery disconnect, which will kill everything in the coach. These are just all of our light switches, and then our 110 hookups right here. Now we'll start in the front and work our way to the back. So Jody, I'll just let you get a shot of everything up in the cab. So just a few of the quick, you know, kind of creature comforts that the cab comes with. So this Sprinter does have adaptive cruise control and active lane assist, which nice enough, you can toggle on and off. You don't have to have that feature if you don't want it. Has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Both of your front seats are heated and they're also powered seats, as well as swivel seats. So you can see the passenger seat right now we have completely turned around, which just makes it nice for a little bit more seating. You know, it's a comfortable option to, if you're trying to camp with, you know, additional people, you have enough seating for about 5 in here, I would say. Also in your cab up above, you have the digital rear view mirror. So you'll have a digital rear view mirror as well as a backup camera that will populate on the nav. And also a heated steering wheel in the cab. Now we'll back up a little bit and go over what's up here. So this is your entertainment system. You do have a TV and a sound bar here. You have 2 storage compartments up above, which are pretty nice and deep. And on that side over here, we're gonna have your 110 hookup, your cable hookup, and you also have an HDMI port back here. So if you want to hook up a laptop or a PlayStation or something and stream it directly to this TV, you have an option to do that. All right, so go over some of our overhead storage in here real quick. We have one overhead storage compartment right there. It's pretty roomy. You got kind of felt on the bottom, so nothing in here is gonna scratch. And then another one over here. Now right now we have our Winnebago manuals stored in here, as well as our insulated curtain. So what this will do is, if you notice around the cab, you're gonna have these button clips all the way around. That will snap in all the way around the cab to completely isolate this. So The windows in the Mercedes portion of this are the most poorly insulated area in the coach. So if you're camping in, you know, extreme weather, extreme heat, or extreme cold, you want to do what you can to isolate this. Just really going to extend your heating and cooling, you know, capabilities. So go over the windows real quick. The windows on this coach are pretty cool. So first off, you have what are called cassette shades on here. So this would be your day shade and your night shade. And these windows also open in about 3 stages. So you'll hear the clicks. So you can open them really wide like that. They'll go all the way out. You can also lock them in kind of an intermediate stage right here, where they're now locked, but you still do have a little bit of airflow coming in here. So good thing to do at night, just to make sure you get a little bit of fresh air coming in here. Every single window in the box portion of this coach will be the same windows as this. They're all double pane acrylic, so they're extremely well insulated. Now, up here in our living area, this is kind of a convertible situation. So right now we have it set up with your opposing sofas. You'll have a table that goes on a post right here. So you'll have one big table, which is stowed in the back. But if you want to change this to what you would for your passengers driving, this side has a lap belt. This side has a 3-point harness. So what we'll do is we'll take these cushions off, move this cushion to the back, and then this whole thing is a table that's going to hinge up like that. And then this is extendable as well. So this will be your 3-point harness for one of your passengers in the rear. It's your forward-facing seat. It's also just a good spot. You know, if you work on the road, it's kind of a good spot to be able to work on your laptop or do anything like that you need to be able to do. It's just a nice workstation, I'd say. Go ahead and move these cushions back. All right, now we'll head back into our kitchen. But before we do that, let's go over our last overhead storage compartment right here. So you can see we have plenty of storage up here. You have another 110 hookup back there, as well as your USB-A and USB-C charging. And if you see that little black port on the ceiling, it's actually a roof access port that Winnebago adds to this. So if you want to add Starlink to this EKKO, it's pretty easy to do. You don't have to play with drilling holes through your roof or anything. Down here is going to be all of our controls. So this is your solar charge controller. This is just going to show that, you know, it's currently charging. Nothing really you have to mess with on this. This will be your environment controls. So right now the AC is on cool, the fan speed is on auto. You can see our current temp in here is 81. We have it set to 72. It was 98 when we started about 10 minutes ago, so I'd say it's pretty efficient. Fresh and gray tank capacities right there. They're both at 0%. And then power is just going to be for your generator. So you can just start and stop your generator from there. It'll also display your chassis battery voltage. And all the way over here is going to be your Xantrex inverter controls. You just switch this on and off. So down here, our refrigerator. So this is a 12 volt and it is compressor driven. See, we still have all the manufacturer plastic on here, but you have a decently roomy refrigerator. You have a little drawer for your produce down at the bottom and a small freezer up top. Now move back a little farther into our kitchen. So up above right here, we have a convection microwave. Still has all of our manufacturer plastics on it. And you have some storage above the microwave as well, maybe some pots and pans or cutting boards, anything you need for meal prep when you're traveling. It's a good option to be able to put up there. And then we have one more overhead storage compartment in here. This is kind of nice because these shelves are completely adjustable. You can put them wherever you want. You can remove them if you want. You also have a 110 hookup in here all the way up at the top. So if you wanted to put a coffee maker in here, you know, maybe just keep it in there in this cabinet permanently, it's a good spot to do that. Now I like in our kitchen how we also have a small window behind here. So if you need to just get some fresh air, you can go ahead and open that up when you're cooking and it'll just keep the air moving through here so you don't have too much food smells. We have a nice deep stainless steel sink with a sprayer wand. Now in our drawers, we'll have our induction cooktop. This just plugs into 110. So you can plug it in the kitchen, or you could plug it in outside. You can take it wherever you want to do your cooking. So it just comes right out of here. And then 2 storage drawers beneath that. And then this is actually used to extend your countertop. So once you take your cooktop out of here, you can drop it in there and it'll just extend your countertop space, your prep space a little bit. Underneath the sink, you have your 110 hookup here. So if you want to plug your induction burner in, you can plug that in right there. Our water pump switch right there. And some more storage underneath the sink. All right, so now we'll head into our bathroom. So the EKKO has a really cool bathroom. This is kind of a convertible wet bath. So right now it's set up with your toilet and with your sink. We have a little bit of storage there up top and the same cassette shades and opening windows that you have throughout the rest of the coach. But if you want to get in here and take a shower, all you have to do is grab the wall right here, pull this whole thing over, and now it is your shower. So it's a pretty cool design because it is sort of a wet bath, but it doesn't, exactly feel like one normally does. This is very tall in here as well. I'm about 6 foot with shoes on, and you can see I still have plenty of headroom above me. Your curtain's gonna go all the way around, keep you from getting anything in here too wet. So it's a pretty neat bathroom. All right, so head back towards the bedroom. Right here is gonna be our Truma Vario heat controls. So this is for your coach heat and your hot water. This will run both of those systems. Down below is just our light switches for the our night light right here and our bathroom light. Now, some of the storage you have back here, on both sides you'll have some hanging storage. You can see there's a little curtain rod in the back if you want to hang some clothing in here. There's the same compartment on each side. This one has some of our gear stored in there as well as the post for the table. And then we'll have storage drawers on either side as well. Now, right now we have this set up in the twin bed configuration. So this would be to sleep north to south, but if you want to set this up as a king bed, all you're going to do is take this cushion, flip it over, and now that'll enable you to sleep east to west. So really just kind of, expands the possibilities back here. When you want to undo it, all you're going to do is flip this over. And this is also useful as sort of an end table. It's wrapped in plastic right now, but you can see we have cup holders here. You have hard surface plastic, so if you want to sit in bed at night and eat, or have a glass of tea or coffee or whatever, it's nice to have a hard place to set that so you don't have to worry about it spilling. Now, real quick, let's talk about the AC. So this has a single 13.5K BTU AC, and it is a ducted AC. So you'll see our ducts all throughout the coach. In total, there's going to be, I think, 5 of them. What's nice about having ducted AC is if you're sleeping in a hot climate, you can close all the ones up there and only leave your AC ducts back in the bedroom open. So just kind of focus all that cooling to one area. Now, underneath our beds, both of these beds will completely raise and allow you to top load anything in here. And on this side, you actually have a nice storage compartment back here, kind of hidden. So it's a good option if you want to put passports or jewelry or any kind of valuables you travel with. It's a nice place to hide them where no one really is going to know that it's there. Both of our beds sit on what's called Frawley springs as well. So this does 2 things. Number one, it'll keep airflow underneath the mattress, so it keeps it cooler as well as prevents any kind of mold or any growth like that, any bad smells that you don't want. It also provides a little bit of cushion. They replace traditional springs, but it does help make the mattress just feel a bit softer and a bit more supportive. Now, all the way in the back, we do have 2 overhead storage compartments. Both of these will have 110 outlets, USB-A and USB-C charging. And you have more 110 outlets, USB-A and USB-C charging here as well. And you also have a little port that'll pop through here. So if you want to plug in your phone chargers and drop the cords down here at night, it's nice to be able to do that. You have night lights on either side. Now this is a lamp light right now, but it's also a blue light. So if you like to have a reading light at night, it's a nice option. And finally, same windows back here as everywhere else. So when you want to black this out, you can raise your night shades, and even during the daytime you can almost completely black this out. So you know, if you're sleeping kind of irregular hours, it's really nice to just be able to have a dark place to be able to go. But that's pretty much it. That'll wrap up our video for today. Thanks for watching. Again, my name's Peter C. My cell number is 719-799-8357. If you have any questions about this coach, or you want something measured, or just anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching our video.